What if the daughter Jamie and Claire never got to raise has found her way back into their story? The Season 8 trailer of Outlander doesn't just tease an ending, it shakes the very heart of the Fraser legacy. And at the center of it all is a face we never thought we'd see again, Faith Fraser. Outlander has always been more than just a story about time travel and romance. From the moment Claire touched the stones at Craig Na Dun, her life and Jamie's was woven into a destiny far larger than either of them could have imagined. For years, the series has balanced epic battles with quiet moments of love, grief, and sacrifice. That's why the release of the Season 8 trailer feels so monumental. It isn't just a glimpse into the final chapter. It's a promise that everything we followed since Season 1 is about to come full circle, but what truly jolts every fan is the appearance of Faith Fraser. For longtime viewers, Faith isn't just another character, she's the ghost of what could have been. The daughter Claire and Jamie lost tragically back in Paris during Season 2. That heartbreaking episode left a scar not only on them but on the audience as well. Faith became a symbol of their sacrifice, their loss, and the reminder that love in the Outlander universe always comes with a price. So when the trailer drops her image like a thunderclap, fans can't help but ask, why? Now and how? Before diving into that mystery, let's set the stage for why Season 8 matters so deeply. Outlander has spanned centuries, taken us from Scotland's rolling hills to the bloody fields of Culloden, from Parisian courts to the dangerous landscapes of colonial America. With every jump, both in geography and in time, the heart of the show has remained steady, Claire and Jamie's bond. They have faced wars, loss, betrayal, and even the cruelty of time itself, but their love has been the anchor that keeps pulling them and us forward. Season 8 doesn't just close their story. It closes an era. The trailer reminds us of this with its tone. Every frame feels heavy with finality. Claire's voice, tinged with both strength and sorrow, sets the emotional rhythm. Jamie's presence, older but unbroken, grounds the visuals in the reality that even legends must face their last chapter. We see quick flashes of Brianna and Roger navigating their own uncertain futures, hints of old allies and enemies, and landscapes that feel both familiar and haunting. There is urgency in the editing, like the clock is running out, not just for the characters, but for the audience. And then Faith appears. Just for a moment, just enough to make you question everything you thought you knew. Is she flesh and blood? A vision born of grief? A ripple in time's fragile fabric? Outlander has always blurred the line between history and the supernatural, but this is different. This is personal. This is intimate. It isn't just about battles or politics, it's about family, about the possibility of rewriting pain, and about the haunting idea that the past never really leaves us. Season 8's trailer makes it clear this will not be a simple goodbye. It's a reckoning. It's a weaving together of every joy, every heartbreak, and every unanswered question that has followed the Frasers across decades and centuries. And Faith's sudden reappearance? That may be the biggest thread of all. As we move deeper into the breakdown, we'll explore how the trailer reveals hidden clues in its imagery, the emotional stakes it sets up, and the way it ties old storylines into the final act. But before we dig into the specifics, it's worth pausing here, in this moment, with the shock and awe of seeing Faith's face once more. Because that single frame changes everything we thought we knew about Outlander's ending, and it might just redefine what legacy truly means for Claire and Jamie Fraser. The Season 8 trailer wastes no time reminding us of what's at stake. It opens with a sweeping shot of the highlands, mist curling over the ridges as if the land itself is holding its breath. Outlander has always treated its settings as characters, and here the land feels alive, restless, waiting. The silence of that first frame tells us this season isn't just about where the Frasers are going. It's about where they've been and what they've lost along the way. We then cut to Claire, her face caught between resilience and sorrow. She is framed in candlelight, almost as if she's been carved out of the shadows. Her voiceover carries weight, a reminder that every word she speaks in this final chapter is laced with years of survival, love, and impossible choices. It's not just a narration. It feels like a confession, a warning, and a farewell all rolled into one. Next, Jamie appears. His presence is thunder and silence. The camera lingers on his hands before his face, a visual callback to earlier seasons when his strength was both his weapon and his burden. Now, his hands tremble ever so slightly, not from fear, but from time. Jamie Fraser has been soldier, outlaw, farmer, husband, father, and legend. In the trailer, he looks older, yes, but not diminished. If anything, the weight of years makes him more formidable. When his eyes meet Claire's, the message is clear, their bond is unbroken. But the storm ahead may be their hardest yet. The trailer then teases us with flashes of Brianna and Roger. We see them standing in a field. Their children nearby, laughter interrupted by something unseen. The editing here is sharp, deliberately fractured, as if hinting that their storyline will be torn between peace and peril. Outlander has never let the next generation live untouched by the past, and the trailer suggests they're time-traveling. Destiny is far from resolved. Are they meant to stay in the present, or will they be pulled back into history's unforgiving grasp? The answer is teased but not revealed, leaving fans in a state of restless speculation, and then comes the tension-brief glimpses of Fraser's Ridge, no longer the sanctuary it once was. Fires burn in the distance. Armed men appear in shadows. Neighbors look less like friends and more like threats. The Ridge has always been more than a home. It's been the physical embodiment of Jamie and Claire's dream of a life together. Seeing it unsettled in the trailer feels like watching their dream splinter, hinting that the final season will test not only their survival, but the very foundation of everything they've built. In true Outlander fashion, the trailer also uses silence as a weapon. Between moments of dialogue, we're shown visuals that beg questions. Claire walking alone through a misty field, holding something close to her chest. Jamie standing at the edge of a river, his reflection rippling like time itself. Brianna clutching an old letter with tears in her eyes. None of these shots come with explanation. They are puzzles, meant to keep fans awake at night, piecing together possibilities. And then Faith. For just a breath, her image flickers across the screen. She is not shown in a dramatic entrance, but in a tender, almost fragile moment. Her face is calm, her eyes soft, her presence both real and unreal. It is enough to stop the heart, enough to remind every fan of Paris, of loss, of Claire, weeping over a child she could never hold. That one image changes the tone of the trailer entirely. What was once a march toward the end now feels like an unraveling of reality itself. The trailer ends with rapid-fire images, battles, embraces, tears, the sound of steel, the crack of gunfire. It feels less like a preview and more like a prophecy. The world of Outlander is collapsing in on itself, past and future colliding, love and loss entwined. By the time the screen fades to black, one truth is certain. Season 8 isn't here to give us comfort. It's here to challenge everything we believe about the story we followed for nearly a decade. Every shot, every silence, every flicker of Faith's face is a reminder that this is the end game. Outlander isn't just winding down, it's building to something larger. Something that will stay with us long after the final credits roll. Faith Fraser's presence in the Season 8 trailer is more than just a surprise cameo. It's a wound. Reopening. For longtime fans, Faith isn't simply a character, she is the embodiment of grief, of what Claire and Jamie lost in Paris, and of the fragile line between destiny and devastation. Seeing her again is like hearing a ghost speak your name. It shakes you, it unsettles you, and yet, it draws you closer. In Season 2, Faith's short life was one of the show's most heartbreaking arcs. Claire's loss wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. That tragedy shaped her as a mother, a wife, and as a woman who understood that time travel could never shield her from pain. Jamie, too, carried that loss, even though he never held Faith in his arms. The memory of their first daughter lingered like an unspoken shadow over every child they raised afterward. To bring Faith back now, in the final season, is to reawaken that grief, but also to offer something else, the possibility of resolution. The big question, of course, is how. Outlander has never been afraid of bending the rules of time and reality. Stones that pull you through centuries. Ghostly visions that appear without warning. Dreams that blur into prophecy. Faith's return could exist in any of these forms. Some fans already speculate she is a vision, perhaps appearing to Claire in a moment of despair, reminding her of the strength she has carried through 8 seasons of hardship. Others believe she might emerge as a spiritual guide, much like how the series has occasionally leaned into mysticism, using visions to push characters toward their fate. But the most daring theory, that Faith exists in an alternate timeline. Outlander has hinted at multiple paths before the what-ifs that swirl around moments of choice. What if Faith survived in another version of reality, one that briefly collides with Claire and Jamie's world in this final act? It's not impossible. The show has always kept the door to the supernatural cracked open, and Season 8 may finally fling it wide, yet the trailer does not present Faith as terrifying or unnatural. Her face is serene, almost gentle. This is not a horror, this is an echo of love. The tenderness in her eyes suggests her role will not be to bring chaos, but to bring meaning. Faith's return could be the series' way of saying, nothing is ever truly lost. Every choice, every sacrifice, every heartbreak reverberates across time, and love, especially the love between a parent and a child, can find its way back. Even if only for a moment, for Claire, Faith's presence would be deeply personal. Imagine the weight of seeing the daughter she lost decades ago, in a time when she herself has grown older, wiser, and more scarred. That meeting could break her, or it could heal her. For Jamie, Faith represents a connection he never truly had, a missing piece of his fatherhood. To finally see her, even in some mysterious form, could be both devastating and redemptive. It would bring his story full circle, tying together his role as protector, as father, and as the man who has always carried unseen scars. There's also a symbolic layer to Faith's reappearance. Outlander has always balanced history with myth, and Faith stands at that crossroads. She is not just a lost child. She is the reminder that life itself is fragile, that even heroes must face loss. By bringing her back in Season 8, the writers may be telling us something about closure, that the end of Outlander is not only about tying up battles and timelines, but also about healing wounds that have lingered since the beginning. Faith might be less about answers and more about acceptance. The mystery of Faith Fraser is not simply what she is, but why now? Why, in this final season, do the Frasers confront her memory made flesh? The answer may lie in the very heart of Outlander's message, that love endures beyond time. Faith's reappearance may not change history, but it could change how Claire and Jamie face their ending. It could remind them and us that nothing is wasted, not even loss. Every joy and every heartbreak is part of the tapestry, and Faith is a thread woven deep into its fabric. So when Faith appears in the trailer, even for a fleeting moment, it isn't just shock value. It's the story reminding us that the past is never gone, that love never truly dies, and that the mysteries of Outlander go far beyond battles and politics. Faith is more than a memory. She is the heartache that shaped the Frasers, and perhaps the light that will guide them into their final chapter. Asterisk as the trailer fades to black. One truth lingers. Season 8 of Outlander isn't just another chapter. It's the last stand of a story that has lived in our hearts for nearly a decade. Every frame, every line, every fleeting glance in that trailer carries the weight of an ending, but also the promise of legacy. It reminds us that Outlander was never just about time travel or history. It was always about the fragile, unshakable threads of love, family, and destiny. The reappearance of Faith Fraser crystallizes that message. She is the thread no one expected, yet perhaps the one most needed. From the very beginning, Faith has been the silent presence in the Frasers' lives. The child who never grew, but whose memory shaped everything that came after. Bringing her back now is not just a plot twist, it's a declaration. It says that every loss matters, every sacrifice echoes, and every love, no matter how brief, leaves a mark on time itself. The trailer positions Season 8 as a reckoning. We see hints of war, of fractured alliances, of ridge life under threat, of timelines bleeding into each other. But beneath all that, the deeper story is clear. Claire and Jamie's love is facing its greatest test. They've survived battles, prisons, betrayals, and oceans. They've crossed centuries, built homes, buried friends, and raised children. Yet now, as the story bends toward its end, the question is not just can they survive, but what will their love mean when the final page is turned? Faith's return gives that question its sharpest edge. Because if even the daughter they lost can return, if even the deepest grief can transform into presence, then maybe the ending of Outlander isn't about loss at all. Maybe it's about wholeness, about closing circles, about love that transcends. Not just time, but mortality itself. The trailer dares us to believe that healing is possible, even in the face of inevitable goodbyes, and that's the power of this final season. It isn't promising us comfort, it's promising us truth. A truth that is messy, painful, and breathtaking all at once. Fans know by now that Outlander never hands out happy endings easily. Every joy comes with scars. Every kiss comes with the risk of loss. But the magic of this story is that it makes those scars beautiful, those risks worthwhile. The Season 8 trailer tells us that the final journey will be no different. It will demand our tears, but it will also remind us why we gave them so freely. So, where does that leave us? Waiting, questioning, holding our breath. Every fan will bring their own theory, their own hopes, their own fears into this final chapter. Will Faith appear only in visions? Will Brianna and Roger's children carry the story into a new timeline? Will Jamie's ghost, long foreshadowed, finally reveal its meaning? These questions hang in the air like mist over the highlands unanswered, but heavy with possibility. And that's where you come in. This isn't just a breakdown, it's an invitation. What do you believe Faith's return means? Do you see her as a vision of closure for Claire? A symbol of destiny bending back on itself? Or something larger, perhaps a sign that time itself has one last secret to reveal? Share your theories in the comments. This is not just a show we watch, it's a story we live together. Every fan has a voice, and in these final moments, those voices matter more than ever. If this breakdown sparked something in you, if you felt that same chill when Faith appeared, then don't let the conversation end here. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next deep dive into Season 8's secrets. Like this video if you're ready to step into the final chapter with Claire and Jamie, and most of all, let's keep this community alive until the very last frame rolls. Because Outlander has never just been a series, it has been a family. Season 8 is coming, the end is near, but the story? The story will stay with us forever.